Hey, welcome to Cow Free Kicks. On this channel I review leather-free sneakers only, and this video is about an absolute mess of a shoe from Nike. It is the Nike Promina. Welcome to the channel. If you've not seen one of my videos before, I always look into 5 different categories when I review a pair of sneakers. I think they're all really important when you're making that decision into buying a new pair of kicks. And then at the end of the video, I will give these Nike Prominas an overall rating out of 5 stars. If you do like what you see as you're going along, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device. And if you've not done so already, whilst you're down there, please do take time to subscribe to the channel. So let's start this review off as I always do by checking these out on feet. Currently available in 5 different colorways via the Nike app and website. It's worth taking into consideration that these Nike Prominas are part of Nike's entry-level or budget range of sneakers. We'll talk more about that price point towards the end of the video, but do take it into consideration, especially with their looks, because they are a very basic looking shoe. Now, the main talking point for this pair of sneakers is this incredibly chunky unnamed foam midsole unit. It's got some little cutaways on it that run from the toe all the way to the heel, and it's got a tiny bit of Nike branding towards the heel on the outside of the foot as well. Kind of butts out towards the back of the shoe, and then it's got a rocker-like motion cut into it with like a wave detailing effect that you can see present on the outsole of the sneaker. You can see the light hitting it with the undulations on this gridded rubberized outsole that you get for these Nike Prominas. It is quite a pronounced rocker. The shoe is quite high towards the toe and towards the heel as well, so you get this rocker motion when you're walking, which we'll talk more about in the comfort section. The upper is very basic, soft polyester detailing throughout the upper of the shoe. It's very soft to the touch. You've got TPU reinforcement around the toe box, around the eye stays for the laces. You've got TPU Nike branding, kind of average sized on the outside of the foot. When you move towards the heel, you've got like some synthetic leather heel tab detailing at the back, and you move towards the inside of the foot and you've got a tiny Nike swoosh branding on the inside. Not the biggest fan. I don't know why they just don't double up on having the big swoosh branding. And then at the top of the tongue, you've also got some Nike branding as well. But overall, they're a very, very basic shoe. I really want to talk more now about their comfort, where I want to put this massive rocker midsole to the test on my back doorstep. Not a massive fan of these looks wise because of just how chunky the overall look is. And I'm really disappointed with them comfort wise as well, because despite the fact you've got huge amounts of foam midsole, there's no responsive bounce back, no give, no energy return from it at all. You can see from the step test, I was putting a lot of pressure on it from toe to heel and I got absolutely nothing back. And I'm really not a fan of the pronounced rocker motion that you get with the wave effect that you get through the middle of the midsole, and with the fact that it butts out at the rear and you've got a pronounced rocker at the front. I just didn't enjoy the experience overall at all underneath my foot. I was expecting some give and some bounce back from the fact you've got a huge amount of foam midsole, but when you actually press it, it's so dense, it's so firm that there's just too much of it, in my opinion, to give you any return at all underfoot. Now, that translates to comfort, hopefully more comfort on top of the foot, because you've got nice foam detailing with this polyester upper. But what they've done is, because they've got such a huge stack height, they've created a really low foot entry hole at the top. It almost feels like you don't have them on properly. You know, if you squeeze your foot into a shoe and you push the back down this part here and you have to fish it out with your fingers because it gets stuck. I had that feeling the whole time. I had to constantly check to make sure that I had all of this on my foot properly, because it just sits so low. It almost feels like your foot is going to slip out at any minute. I did enjoy the fact that I had that feeling coupled with the fact that it was dead underfoot. Now, there is some nice foam detailing around that part, so it did feel comfortable in that respect, but just the ride height for me is all wrong. It's got a nice foam tongue on it though, and the rest of the shoe does offer a nice comfort, and fit wise, they're an absolute true fit. I'm a true Nike size 10 lengthwise, and they were perfect lengthwise, and they do have a wider than average foot and toe box, so they've got a wider than average foot in general, a wider than average entry hole and toe box as well. They are designed to be a walking shoe, so they've made them a little bit wider to be a little bit more comfortable, and I've got slightly wider than average feet, so I did find them okay in that respect, but overall just an absolute mess of a shoe for me comfort wise. Now I want to put them on the scales to show you how much they weigh. Coming in at 372 grams per shoe, I consider any sneaker below the 350 gram mark to be lightweight. Anything below 300 grams is freakishly lightweight, and anything above 400 grams, you're talking about a heavyweight pair of kicks. So coming in at 372 was a disappointment as well, because there's no trade-off for that additional weight. If they were 372 and this huge stack height offered unreal comfort, I'd be like, I don't mind the weight, but right now, considering they offer no comfort and I really don't like the way they look, the weight is also an issue for me as well, because they are going to be heavier than your average shoe when you're walking around in them, and that for me does play into comfort as well. Now I want to talk about their breathability. Well, I want to pump this upper full of smoke to see how breathable it is. You can see from the smoke test that the smoke did escape quite nicely from the toe box and areas of the middle of the foot as well, but mainly from this well perforated tongue, which you don't normally find on a pair of sneakers. So it was nice to see that overall it's going to offer you good breathability. But now we want to talk about their price. Now these come in at £64.99. which generally I'd be applauding, because it is a very good price for a brand new pair of shoes, especially from a brand like Nike. It's part of their budget range, their entry level range. Do not expect to run a marathon in these, even a 5K. These are designed to be a walking shoe with this rocker motion, an everyday lifestyle walking shoe. I personally would never buy a pair because I just don't think they work. Comfort wise, they're an absolute mess for me. I just think they look too bland, and I think they're too heavy. They're only saved by the fact that they are breathable and they have a good price point, but they're not going to get any more than 2 stars. For that reason alone, I just wouldn't recommend buying these. I mean, I could have given them 1 star, to be honest, if it was just all about comfort, which is my main concern when I'm buying a new pair of shoes, and their looks. But they do perform quite well in the breathability test, and also they do have quite a nice entry-level price point. Obviously, if you are keen, buy a pair. If you don't like them, just send them back. If you've liked what you've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up like before you leave. Drop any comments below. You can also follow me on Instagram. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.